Hi everybody, welcome to Coffee and Crafting. Today is a really special episode because I want to take you through my craft studio for Christmas. I'm really excited. I still have a couple more projects left for Christmas, but my studio is pretty much done for Christmas, and so I wanted to show you. So if you can hear me, I'd love to see where you're coming from. And I just cannot wait to show you my studio today. We're going to start out on the outside, and out here I want to show you my beautiful sign that my husband built. It just showcases my studio, and I've got this beautiful black and white awning. And so when we were designing this space, I knew I wanted pops of pink on the outside as I did on the door. But I also wanted a really sweet mix of black and white for fun feminine details. And so the studio, if you don't know, it was reconstructed from an old general store. So all this beautiful wood that you see here came from an old general store. And I love it so much, and I love how it plays with the beautiful pinks and the blacks and the whites that I've got in here. So outside, all I have is these wreaths that I found at Five Below last year. So they're dollar store wreaths. And I added some fun baubles to them and some bottle brush trees. And then I also have my really fun nutcrackers that I embellished with some fun paint. So let's go inside the studio now. Let me take you and where it's a little bit quieter and not as hot. Thank you so much, Christy. I'm so happy you like the nutcracker. Okay, so we're going to start here in the mantle area. So here in the studio, I wanted a very clean slate. So, because I primarily photograph and video in here, and I always wanted a mantle where I could stage for the holidays because I've never had a mantle. And so I thought it'd be really fun. And I have so much fun decorating this mantle for every holiday. And that's what I do. I have fun with it. And so it's a little quirky, it's a little whimsical, but I love it so much. So I've linked below my studio tour from last year if you want to check out how I decorated last year. But this year, I decided to make a fun bauble or ornament ball garland using wire and old ornament balls. And I love how it turned out. I just posted a reel about that last week, and y'all were so kind about it. And then I can take you a little bit closer. The sun is really intense right now, so let me see. Okay, so here you can see the ornament balls garland. These are all plastic ornament balls. They are not real. They're not glass, and so they won't break. But I love the colors, and I love the movement on this. And then these trees I got from I bought these from Walmart last year. So don't overlook Walmart and their amazing Christmas section. But you can find these glass trees anywhere. I think they add so much charm and fun whimsy to the space. Speaking of Walmart, I also purchased these houses from Walmart, which I was really amazed. So of course I went in there for some milk and butter, and I came out with all of these Christmas houses, all of these trees, but I love how it works. And then of course I've got my signature disco balls, and then really I think the stars of the show are these really fun reindeer, which y'all have loved. I love them too. They're so fun. Unfortunately, I cannot find them online. I bought them at Round Top, Texas. They are not antique, but they were just so fun and whimsical, and I love them so much. So let me show you another view of this mantle. And again, that garland was a really fun moment for me this year. And the print is something, I kind of struggled with that. I didn't know if I wanted to add a wreath there. I decided to add this print that I just bought myself for Christmas, and I love it. I think the colors work really, really well together. Okay, so now we're going to move on to one of my favorite pieces here in the studio, and this is the notary cabinet that I've got here. So this notary cabinet came all the way from France. I bought it from a vendor in California online. I was looking for something. When we were outfitting this space for the studio, I wanted it to feel like it was a general store, but almost elevated a little bit. And so we were looking for pieces that had nods to the general store and just pieces that were super unique. And I also wanted pieces that were, number one, pretty. I'm taking my time filling the space up because I really want to enjoy the space and enjoy the pieces. And so this notary cabinet was an incredible find. And I'm going to move my island over so I can show you. But I love it because this is where I store a lot of my crafting supplies. I store my yarn in here. I store my wreath supplies down below. So I make a lot of wreaths, and you can see. And then this is where I store my yarn. And it's just such a fun piece. I love it so much. And so it's also my backdrop for coffee and crafting. So I'm sure you've seen it before, but I love displaying my fun wreaths, my disco ball wreaths, and then just some fun things that I've made. And then this kind of goes throughout the studio with me because I find that my quilt jackets are super inspiring. They're beautiful. And I still have about 5 available if you're looking for a really fun Christmas present for a loved one who admires handmade quality. And so the oak notary cabinet, again, it's one of my favorite pieces. And then here I've got a fun display of my Santa mugs. So this display kind of goes around the studio with me. This is actually a collection I just started a couple years ago. Most of these are honestly Dollar Tree or dollar store finds. This is a Target find from this year. And I'm a big advocate of mixing and matching. It's not only great for a wallet, but it also adds some fun character and dimension. Now, these are vintage that I got at Round Top this year. This is one of my first pair of vintage. And I thought it was so funny because she said if you added paint to it, or sorry, if you wash these, this would come off. So I'm not even going to use these. And then this is my most recent find, this really fun large Santa here. But most of these are new. These are all from Pottery Barn. But I think that's the beauty of a collection is just the variety of them. And I love that Santa mugs are really making a comeback. And whenever I go thrifting, I look for them, even though they're really, really hard to find because they're really popular. Okay, so let me show you where I do all of my crafting. It is not really decorated for Christmas, but I thought it was a fun feature because this is really the workhorse of my studio. Right here is my crafting table. This is actually a kitchen table that I had in our first house. I bought it at Round Top. And this is where I do all of my filming, all of my overhead shots for my videos. And I love having it in the central area of the studio because it's a really inspiring space to be. I'm right below my beautiful chandeliers, which I love. And it just makes me really, really happy to create from here. I'm finishing up my gift topper series. And so that's what I'm working on now, the last video that you'll see tomorrow. So Christy, thank you so much for asking about Round Top. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world. It is called Round Top, Texas, or Warrenton, Texas. They're 2 different towns. They're tiny towns, but 2 to 3 times a year, they get anywhere. I don't know how many residents actually live there, but it's not that many. It grows. There's like thousands and thousands of people that come to shop. And so you've got anything from high-end European antiques to crafty items. And so it's just booths and booths set up. I've got a blog post if you want to check it out. But if you Google Round Top, Texas, Texas Antiques Week, it's amazing. It's just basically an incredible field of incredible merchants who have antiques, who also have very crafty, fun items. You would love it so, so much. So if you're ever in Texas, you definitely need to stop by and check it out. And that's where I found a lot of these pieces for the studio. I found this table there. I found my kitchen island where my mugs are there. And then I found a couple of other pieces there that I'll show you. Okay, so now we are going to go on to my kitchenette area. Yes, Christy, you need to visit and bring a U-Haul, definitely. And let me know, because I'd love to show you around. Okay, so the next thing is I want to take you to my kitchenette area. I work with a lot of paint, and so I knew I needed a space that would have a sink, and then I also wanted a fridge, to hold my drinks, and in case I have parties or whatnot, you need something like that. And so I purchased this Meg fridge last summer. I love it so much, and it just makes me really happy. And so next to it, we've got this really fun vignette of Santas and bottle brush trees, because I love bottle brush trees. And then I just put these out today, if you saw in my stories, my bottle brush tree collection, which is growing by the year. Most of these are honestly dollar store finds. Some of them are hand dyed by myself. Some of them are I found at craft shows. I love the variety of these. Thank you, Joe. You know I spend a lot of time and money there as well. And then let's talk about my sink. So some of y'all were asking about my vintage pink sink. So this sink is actually antique. It's not vintage. It came from the farmhouse that I'm currently living in with my children and husband, and it is an old washboard sink. It's cast iron, so it's super special, but it was not in great condition when we took it out of the kitchen in our house. So we didn't keep it in our house because our kitchen is not very large to begin with, and so this took up most of the counter space. And so we've held on to it, and when we were renovating the studio, I thought this would be the perfect place for it. And the only problem was it was in terrible shape. And so we took it to a local guy who, he's called the Tub Doctor. And so what he did was he removed the enamel and then he recoated it. So it's super durable now. And the only thing is, I said, is there any way I can change the color on it? And he said, yeah. I said, can I do a pink? He said, yes, I've never done a pink, but you can do a pink. And so that's what we did here, and it makes me so happy. I love it so much. The color is perfect. It's not overly pink. It's definitely pink, but it's not overly pink. I think it's a beautiful neutral. It's actually very similar to the color of my logo for Country Peony. Okay. And so then you can get a better look here at the wreath that I made a couple years ago. I've linked it in the description below. It's another fun nod to bottle brush trees that line this beautiful, beautiful aisle. And then over here, I wanted to show another fun vignette that I put together. These are miniature Christmas trees that I made with Woodpecker's Crafts a couple of years ago. They are so, so fun. And I just wanted to show you by adding a little whimsy and creativity and a little bit of paint can go a long way. And then just over here, I've got my really fun ribbon holder. So I really needed a space. I love ribbons. I don't know if you can tell, I'm constantly using ribbons. And I really wanted something cute to hold them. And so I was at an antique store and I found this bottle drying rack. And I instantly thought it'd be perfect for my ribbons, and it is. I love that you can see them out on display, but I also love how beautiful this piece is. This is an old bottle drying rack from France. It has seen better days, but it's perfect for what I'm using it here for. And again, I think there's something so beautiful about bringing in vintage items that tell a story and that are also practical. Even though you're not using them for their original purpose, I still think it's a really fun thing to do, and that's what I've tried to do here in the studio and will continue to do here in the studio. Okay, so now on to the showpiece, which is my Christmas tree. So this King of Christmas tree is one that I have wanted to invest in for a really long time. Honestly, when we were renovating this building, I envisioned the Christmas tree here, and it makes me so, so happy. I love it so much that last year, after I was done with it for Christmas, I decided to keep it up year-round, and so I have a really fun series where I've decorated it for every single holiday, and it has brought me so, so, so much joy. So if you have the opportunity to decorate your Christmas tree year-round, I highly recommend it. It's been a really fun process. But the tree itself is the 7.5-foot flocked pink Christmas tree from King of Christmas. And the inspiration for the tree this year with this beautiful Advent calendar, ornaments from Anthropology. I loved the colors. Some of them are pastel, some of them are more jewel toned. And so I really used those colors for this wreath. I added the fun pops of this beautiful green, and then the pinks, and then the florals and the disco balls. I just added and added and added and had so much fun with it. So on to one of my next favorite spots here in the studio, and that is my bathroom. So let me show you my bathroom. We are walking into my storage room now, so I'm gonna try to hide the storage room. But here is the door to my bathroom, and let me tell you about this door a little bit, because I think this is a fun story. We were not able to save a lot of the wood from the old general store because there had been rot damage from water. There had also, it's just from age over time, it had been sitting for a while without anybody using it. So unfortunately, we couldn't use a lot of the wood, but I tried to bring in elements that were older to inspire that charm. And this is one of the elements that I brought in. I actually did get this door at Round Top. It's an East Lake door, and it came somewhere northeast, which is where I hear a lot of really great antiques come from. And so this door, I love it so much. I'll get there, Joe. I'm going to show the tile in just one moment. So this door is really special to me. I love the colors, I love the texture, I love the details. But I bought this door for a project. Eventually, we'd love to expand on our house. And I bought this door as a craft door for my craft room one day. And so when we needed a door for the studio, I thought, oh my gosh, I could use this door that was originally intended for a craft room. And now I have a craft studio, which is just beautiful. But I love the door so much. We added a really fun knob here. And this is a wreath that I made last year for Country Sampler Farmhouse Style. And so let me show you the inside. So it is really fun. It's got so much character. It's not a very big space, but I had a lot of fun designing this space. So when I was designing the main area, again, I wanted it very light and bright for photographing and taking video. But when I just started to design in here, I had so much fun. So the wallpaper was the original inspiration for the color palette. I'd mentioned before, whenever I do projects, I like to start with a color palette that really helps me focus on my design. And so I was really inspired by this beautiful wallpaper by Luli Wallace. It's called Susanna. And I love the femininity of it. I love the colors. And so I pulled that peachy color. It's a beautiful peachy pink. And I put that on the wainscoting. And then my fabulous brother Joe helped bring my vision to life for the floors. So I'm going to bring it over here so you can see. The floors, I really wanted to do a fun floral pattern on the ground. But I was sourcing products and it was all really expensive. And so I reached out to my brother Joe, who's kind of a jack of all trades, and he helped me. He actually did most of the floor. I just kind of put the design together. And I went to the tile shop. I got some pink and green tiles, and we made this beautiful floral pattern on the floor, and I love it so much. So thank you, Joe. But here in the bathroom, I didn't decorate very much. Because it's not a very large space, but I did add some fun baubles that I did not add to the tree. These are some fun vintage Shining Brights that I had. And so that's a great way to decorate too, is you just find a really fun basket and add some baubles to that. But while we're here, I wanted to show you the rest of the bathroom. This mirror is just a fun find that I painted green to match the color scheme. And then the ceiling is a beautiful, we did a fun tile on that with this light, which I love. And then of course we had to go add the details in the, as well in the vents. So again, you can probably see why this is one of my favorite spaces in the studio. And then here is another wreath that I have. This is my pom-pom wreath from my ebook, if you want to visit that and check it out. So let's go back into the main area. And please let me know if you have any questions on any of these details that I showcased today. Christmas is my favorite time of the year to decorate, and I love it so much. And I'm so grateful for you, for being here. This is so much fun to get to create with you every Monday. I am not doing a coffee and crafting next week because I'm taking off, but I will be back at the beginning of the year with some really, really fun projects. So I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a beautiful Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and I will talk to you soon, guys. Until next time, happy crafting. Thank you.